My dreams have come true. I finally got an up-close look at one of the Rivian vans. If you're new to this channel, I'm an Amazon delivery driver here in Seattle. There are already plenty of videos about Rivian as a company and its ability to produce these 100,000 vans that Amazon ordered who knows how long ago. I'm also not really going to talk about any of the battery life or range or anything like that because I have no idea about any of that stuff. I'm mostly interested in, is this actually going to be a good vehicle for Amazon delivery from the perspective of an Amazon delivery driver? So let's talk about it. So even though I haven't actually driven one of these vans, here are my first impressions from my initial walk around and talking to the driver. First thing is the size. The particular one that I saw was the EDV 700. You might have seen this graphic. There's the 500, the 700, and the 900. The 500 is more comparable to a normal cargo van. 700 is more like a step van or a walk-in van. And then I don't think they produced any of the 900s, but that'll be an even bigger variation. It looks really goofy in this rendering, like it looks way too long, but this one I looked at was a 700. Here's a photo of the 500. You can tell them apart because the 700 has one extra body panel. Apparently the 500 is also narrower than the 700, but the 500s are out there and it'll be interesting to see how those compare to the 700s. Okay, a couple more initial observations. The ground clearance, I don't think it's as tall as a normal cargo van. I think it's a little bit closer to the ground. So a lot of people were curious if it could keep up with some of the routes that are out there a little farther, maybe not on, you know, pavement, maybe some dirt, maybe some rocks, maybe some treacherous terrain. I will say the form is like pretty much the same as like a Ford Transit, maybe a little bit bigger, to the point where it'll drive by and I don't think people even bat an eye. It's just the Amazon van. They don't even realize that it's like the cutting edge new Rivian electric delivery van. Maybe I'm just a weirdo and I just notice Amazon vans at a higher rate than everybody else. Also, there are lots of cameras and lots of sensors. I'm talking cameras for the 360 camera system that allows you to see basically like the bird's eye view of the truck while you're driving. Rear view cameras. There's a camera above the passenger door that's separate from the 360 camera. No idea what that is. There are all sorts of sensors, all sorts of just weird tech that I don't know what it does. So I don't know if that's already integrated into the vans that are going out right now or if that's planning for the future for software updates and stuff like that, but there's a lot of tech. This is a big one from a delivery driver perspective. The driver's side door is just your normal open close like a car door, but the passenger side is a sliding door, which is awesome, because you can just leave it open. You don't have to open and close a door every single time you get out to make a delivery. Right now we have what we call the CDV, or Custom Delivery Vehicle. That's a similar platform where it's a Ford Transit cutaway chassis with a sliding door on the passenger side. I think the goal lately has been to find the best delivery vehicle that has the most space and the best ergonomics for the driver without going over the weight limit where drivers have to get DOT certified because that costs more. The dude who was driving the Rivian was super cool, and so he kind of gave me a little tour of the cargo area and the cabin and stuff like that. The normal Transits just have one set of shelves in the back. The CDVs, but also the Rivian, have two sets. So you pretty much have twice as much space to put your totes of packages. If you're not familiar with Amazon, this is a tote. You put all your packages in the tote. That's how you keep everything organized. So the shelves give you way more space for your totes, any big oversized packages. The driver also told me that when you put the Rivian into drive, the bulkhead door, so the door between the cabin and the cargo area, closes automatically. So that's cool. Moving into the cabin, you can just tell that this thing was designed completely with delivery drivers in mind. One of the things that struck me was that the interior is so simple, which I think is good. There's a screen on the dash that syncs with your delivery device. You just have a big screen showing you where to go. He says the screen is a lot easier to navigate to than to try to pick your next stop on your little tiny phone screen, you know, put it on the phone holder on the dash. Instead, there's just this sweet big screen, all your stops laid out. And the fact that it's already synced up kind of scares me because what if it becomes unsynced? But he didn't mention having any problems with that, so I would assume it's pretty worked out by this point. Underneath the screen and to the right, there's actually a little shelf that is a wireless charging pad or whatever. So you can just put your delivery device right on there and it'll charge. And then probably one of the more interesting things, and something that I haven't really seen in any other videos, is that there's no key. Not really surprised, a lot of vehicles are using fobs and keyless entry and stuff like that. But this dude just had a tiny little clip to his vest, and that was the key. It has a lock and an unlock button, and then it has the little Amazon logo. That's one less step to worry about. As far as driving goes, the dude that I was talking to said, really the biggest change is the one pedal driving. I've never actually driven an electric car, so I've never experienced this firsthand. From my understanding, if you're not pressing on the gas, the vehicle is braking. So I could see how that could get tricky for some people who are used to driving a certain way or coasting to a stop. But other than that, it seems like it just drives like a normal van, which I don't really know what I was expecting. It's just a van. It's not like it was gonna take off and fly. The one issue that we spoke about was that apparently there was an incident at their DSP where somebody drove over a speed bump and it had some kind of impact on the battery and the van died and it wouldn't start. First problem, the van died, it wouldn't start. But then the second thing that I didn't realize was that Rivian has to come and tow the van. You can't just get a normal tow truck for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because they were still in the testing phase or if they physically can't be towed by a normal tow truck if there's not like the hookups or something. And that's the other thing too. I think officially all the Rivian vans are in V2 testing or something. I think there was a preliminary round of testing where it was maybe Amazon people driving the vans and then they sent them to the actual DSPs and had actual delivery drivers test them and give feedback and all that. I don't know for sure, but I think right now we're probably in between the end of this second testing stage and the beginning of the larger scale deployment. I've already heard of other DSPs getting 6 Rivian vans, or there's another station nearby that supposedly already has like 20. Either way, I think Amazon's definitely ramping up to receive more of these vans. Whether or not they're completely done testing, I don't know. So there might be some issues that are still being worked out, like this battery shutoff issue or whatever happened. Overall, from a delivery driver standpoint, I think that this is going to be a huge upgrade over the normal cargo vans. A normal cargo van is just not meant for delivery. The Rivian seems like it was designed with delivery drivers in mind, because it was. My only hesitation is all the technology. This stuff is new, but it's been in testing for a long time, but I don't know if it's really seen the wear and tear that delivering 300 packages every single day puts on a vehicle. I'm excited for the Rivian vans. I really hope they withstand the wear and tear that all of us delivery drivers are going to subject them to. It was really cool to see one of these in person, and it's more similar to the cargo van than I thought, but there are some aspects of the step van, walk-in van setup that I think are going to be really great for delivery drivers. I don't have a fourth one. I think that'll do it for this one, so we'll see you next time. Drive safe. If you're an Amazon delivery driver and you've driven one of these, please leave a comment down below and tell us what you liked and didn't like. I am so curious and super jealous of everybody who's gotten to drive one of these so far. See ya!